After being placed in a coma after sustaining a gun injury in the line of duty, Rick Grimes woke up in hell. The world he once knew was gone, and what remained was a zombie-infested horror show. I'm sorry, what was that? Walkers. They call them walkers? Oh yeah, real clever, because they walk everywhere, you know, like you do, survivors. That's like calling them the infected because of the virus, when you could just apply that to anyone with the common cold during the apocalypse. You have got to be with no Winchester to hide in to wait for it all to blow over. Rick was forced to survive in this new and strange world, looking for his wife and son. And he managed to find it pretty lucky when he was rescued by a group of survivors, and even more lucky, the group had his son and wife, who had moved on from his supposed death, but hey, what mattered was that they were all together. But after several misadventures in the new yet not improved world, things got worse and worse. His wife died, his best friend went mad, and he went from giving some craps to giving no craps whatsoever. However, he would soon meet someone who proved his horrors had just begun. He had received a job from a man named Jesus, who had mentioned a group of people named the Saviors. After a couple run-ins with the selection of the Saviors, Rick had a lot of blood on his hands from their interactions, and he would soon learn he got more than what he bargained for. And after hearing a whistle while travelling through the night with his gang, he found himself and his group kneeling down at the mercy of the Saviors. And in a double whammy of shitty luck, they found that they weren't at the mercy of the Saviors, but their leader, Negan. And Negan was justifiably not happy at Rick murdering his people. He pulled an Uno reverse and brutalized two of Rick's friends, Glenn and Abraham. And when Rick tried retaliation, Negan pulled a complete "Who's your daddy?" and Rick realized that he couldn't protect himself or worse, his family. And thanks to his decision to fight the Saviors, they were now nothing more than another group under the thumb of Negan. It's even worse when you realize that Negan isn't just all bark. In fact, he has less of a bite and more of a building-sized chomp. He's strong enough to throw you through a window, tough enough to tank a car crash with no injuries, and fast enough to react to Rick before he could attack. Negan's surprising strength is only matched by a similarly surprising intellect. He's smart enough to manipulate hundreds of Saviors into following his ways, and he's an absolute master of intimidation, scare tactics, and methods to stay in power. Oh boy, I'm starting to see some potentially intentional real-world parallels here. Well, I'd honestly trust Negan more than Margaret Thatcher as a politician. But hey, politics aside, come back next time where we're covering Negan's opponent, Judge Holden.